Hello and welcome to Small Business, Big Life, inside Fort Orange General Store, where entrepreneurship meets marriage, kids, and controlled chaos. I'm Joe Slichko, and with me, as always, is my wife, business partner, and owner of Fort Orange General Store, Erica Cubello.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here today.
And in today's episode, Erica, we are going to talk about one of our most favorite topics in Albany, and that is Nipper.
Our beloved Nipper, the unofficial mascot of Albany.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
But before we can get into all things Nipper, we have to remind our amazing listeners to please like or subscribe wherever you're listening, and please share one of our episodes with a new friend, not the same old friend. They already have the privilege of listening to us on a weekly basis, but maybe somebody new, maybe a dog lover,
Oh,
because
yes.
this episode will obviously be heavily, heavily concentrated on our furry friends.
Oh, that's a great idea. I love that. Yes, please share this episode with one of your friends, particularly an animal or dog lover, because Nipper is our dog. We've got a lot of fun things to share about him and our family because it all kind of blends together.
It does. So, Erica, pretty much on a daily basis, whether you're at the store, I'm at the store, whoever's working, somebody will come in, normally from out of town, and say, "Who is this dog that's on everything?"
Yep, we hear that all the time.
Why don't we start with the story that you tell people in that quick moment?
Awesome, sure. So, customer comes in and says exactly that, what Joe said. So, what's up with this dog? Why is it everywhere? Oh, well, that's Nipper. And, Nipper was the RCA mascot. Are you familiar with the record company?
And 99% of them say no, and that boggles my mind.
I
It
know.
makes me feel really old.
It does. And they're not even like that young when I say it because growing up, we knew RCA Records. I mean, I could tell you a few artists right off the top of my head that were signed with RCA Records.
That's weird and kind of creepy, but
Sorry. Anyways, Nipper was the RCA mascot, the dog with what's it called? I always forget the triangle.
phonograph.
Phonograph.
Not a triangle.
Okay.
Phonograph.
Being the art teacher, I think in shapes and colors. Okay. So thank you very much for bailing me out right there. So Nipper is the RCA mascot, the dog that you would see alongside that company. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. If they don't know what it is and just being nice. And I say, well, it has to do with Albany because we used to have a warehouse down on Broadway, about a mile down the road from our store. You go straight down this road, you'll run into him in about a mile. He is the largest dog sculpture in the world, and he's also a historical landmark here in Albany. And people are always amazed, like, that's so cool. I have to go see him. And so a lot of people end up driving down and seeing Nipper. But yeah, he is a beloved icon of our city, which goes back generations.
And to be clear, he is a large dog sculpture that is on top of a building to this day.
Right. Yes.
Now, the building has seen much better days and is not doing well.
No.
But Nipper is almost pristine up
It's
there,
crazy.
which is really weird.
Yeah. No, he is in very good shape. And that dog has such a fondness in not only my heart, but many people who grew up in this area, from older generations to even our little ones. I mean, our youngest loves Nipper because we point him out. And those are the stories that I hear from people who come into the store and know Nipper and love Nipper. Oh, my mom and dad used to drive down and show me Nipper. My mom used to talk to me about Nipper and reminiscing about her dad driving her by. Like he's just such a iconic landmark in our city.
Yes, even my father, who was not, very positive about most things in life, he loved Nipper, and he wasn't even a dog person.
There's just something about that dog.
It's crazy.
I mean, his little head like tipped to the side because that's part of the story. Like his owner played the music. He heard the music, so he tipped his head to the side. And yeah, I don't know what it is about him, but I fall in love with him every time I look at him, like drive by. Again.
And a quick side note, because our last episode we talked about, employees and finding help and things like
Right.
that. I think it was probably 6 months ago now. We were doing interviews, and there was this one interviewee who wasn't a good fit, didn't have the qualifications.
Right.
So there was all that. But in the interview, this person said, and yeah, I don't even understand that whole Nipper thing. I'm not really a fan.
You can't say that.
That was almost a nail in the coffin if there wasn't already about 7, but
If
yeah.
you're gonna work at Fort Orange General Store where people come to get Albany gear, you sure as better like Nipper, you know? You better be able to tell that story. And if you're telling us off the bat that you don't understand why, well, maybe this is not the right job for you.
Maybe not. So, thank you for sharing that story. I thought it'd be fun today to do a little fact checking and see if we even know what we're talking about.
Yes.
And see if we need to, I don't know, rephrase any part of that story with some actual information that we found on the interweb.
I think we do a pretty good job of it, but I'm excited to learn more just about the history of Nipper, and where he came from, why it all happened. And if we can add any more to our story to be more historically accurate, we should.
And I'll put the caveat out there that this is not an actual dissertation with full citations and cross-referenced, 3 ways to Sunday. So if any of our listeners have either additional information,
Yes,
or if I say something that Wikipedia had incorrect, for example, feel free to drop us a note and let us know, and we will either make the correction or add to the story.
Yeah, because we don't know everything about Nipper. We just love him and love telling the story of why we love him. We learned something new a couple weeks ago on a night we were closing together.
Oh, about his ear.
Yeah, and how there's the music that used to play.
There's an antenna coming out of his ear, which doesn't actually look like an antenna. I guess it does once you say it, but just looking at it and for all these years, I was like, is it like a little weather vane? Is it something that broke off?
I never even questioned what it was. I just saw it and was like, oh, that's odd. But I was driving under him yesterday and I looked up and there's a red light that sits up there and I saw the speaker. The speaker's still there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The building's falling apart. The buildings around it are falling apart. And there is Nipper looking white as ever.
Yes.
Pristine.
He was built, I believe, in the 50s.
Well, I think that is probably part of the thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
All right. Nipper. He was born in 1884.
Wow.
In Bristol, England.
Oh, a little English pup.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Me too. That could have been really bad.
I've never heard you do that before. So,
I've been watching a lot of Bridgerton.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Probably some copyright infringement there. Thanks, Erica. All right. 1884, he was born, and he passed away in September of 1895, unfortunately.
Well, he had a good life.
Yeah.
11 years.
He was likely a mixed breed dog, as they say. However, quote, early sources suggest, end quote, which is Wikipedia, so I don't really understand what they're trying to be fancy about, that he was likely a smooth fox terrier, a Jack Russell Terrier, or possibly part bull terrier.
Yeah, I don't see the Jack Russell. Those are little guys. The first two I could see. The first and the last.
Yeah, I feel like the Jack Russells always have like little beards.
Yeah, I have bad memories of Jack Russell Terriers.
Please don't alienate part of our audience
Yeah.
with your negativity.
But I could see maybe because if you tell this part, the next part of the story where he got his name, which I'm sure you will, that could be Jack Russell, and it would relate to my trauma from childhood with them.
He was named Nipper because he would often nip at the backs of visitors' legs.
Yeah. That when I was little, I had a best friend who had a Jack Russell, and we were little kids, and it would chase us around, and it would bite the backs of our legs. Little Nipper.
So Nipper had quite the life. He had an owner who passed away, and when that owner passed away, Nipper was inherited by the owner's two brothers, who kind of bounced him back and forth, and then sent him over to the original owner's widow for the end years of his life.
Okay.
So same family.
Yeah.
But just kind of 4 different owners within that family.
That's tough. That's really sad. He was a little.
That's probably why he's nipping at people.
Orphan pup.
You know?
That makes me love him and my heart break even more.
I know. So after Little Nipper's death is when he was depicted in the famous painting, His Master's Voice, where it's the famous painting where he's looking at a phonograph and his head is kind of cocked to the side. And the story goes, Erica, that the painter of that painting, is that how I should have said that? The painter of the painting?
Yes.
The artist?
You could say either. The artist would sound better. The painter of the painting.
The painter of the painting. The artist formerly known as the painter of the painting. Now, tried selling it to the Edison Bell Company.
Okay.
Because they were big into all that back then. And the representative that he was peddling it to said, quote, "Dogs don't listen to phonographs." Now, can't you imagine, like, turn of century, probably, I don't know, 1905, something like that. Let's pretend. And some stuffy guy in a suit, because they all wore those, like, 9-piece suits back then. He definitely had a top hat on of some sort.
And a mustache. A handlebar mustache.
Of course he had a handlebar mustache. Yes. Like Snidely Whiplash.
And little round glasses.
And here comes this man peddling this, painting, and he turns his nose up at him and he says, "Dogs don't listen to phonographs."
What do you know, dude?
And shoos him away. Well, the artist kept pursuing and eventually got in front of the right person at the company. And the person said, "If you take off the phonograph that's there and put one of ours in it, we're interested."
Wow.
So he painted over it, repainted it, and ended up selling it for £100.
Okay.
Which modern day equivalent somewhere around £10,627.
Do you know what that dollar amount would be?
We're not doing this right now. No. But I do know half of that money was for the copyright and half is for the painting itself.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So then comes the RCA partnership, if you will. So in the United States, around 1900, 1901, the Victor Talking Machine Company purchases the rights, basically, to utilize Nipper in this painting in their advertisements. And the Victor Talking Machine Company becomes RCA.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
And they use Nipper and the gramophone extensively, both here and in Japan, actually. Now, as time progressed, Nipper's little grave site back home, it was built upon and the land was developed, and there was a bank that was eventually built on that site, still
Okay.
there to this day. And they have a little plaque in there
Oh,
that's supposed to be very close to the original burial site of Nipper.
that's so sweet.
It's very cute. Throughout the years, Nipper appeared in all the RCA television commercials and all the advertisements, like we said. And then he had a son
Oh,
in
yes.
in the advertisements, not
Mhm.
in real life. He's long gone. It'd be like a zombie dog. Not what I'm saying. And he was a puppy named Chipper.
Oh, little Chip,
Little Chip.
like from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, but a dog instead. Um, they actually had real dogs play the role in the advertisements, and they had to keep replacing the chipper because, dogs grow.
Oh, that makes sense.
That was a major bone of contention and a big deal back then, apparently.
That would be hard to keep up on. To have to find
Find another dog.
that look the same. Yeah,
Yeah,
Chipper. Cute idea.
it is.
We do have some Nipper and Chipper in Fort Orange.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We have a couple beautiful paintings of them.
So, what else is going on with Nipper? There's a Baltimore street leading to a development of townhouses that is named Nipper Way
Wow. Where in Baltimore, you said?
in Baltimore.
Huh.
And it's where a statue of Nipper resided for a brief period of time before being relocated.
So it's not just Albany that has a fondness for Nipper.
No, because in fact, back in his hometown over in Bristol, they have a street named after him, Nipper Alley.
Oh, that is so cute. Why doesn't Albany have a Nipper Way?
I think it should, and I think we're going to get in front of the right people and make that happen.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The Nipper Crusade has begun.
Save Nipper.
Save Nipper. And now, we're going to talk about our Nipper.
Okay.
A 4-ton Nipper statue can be seen on the roof
4 ton.
of the former RCA distribution building, now owned by Arnoff Moving and Storage, right in downtown Albany at 991 Broadway.
4 ton. That's like 8,000 pounds, right? Not that it matters, but like that's a really heavy dog. It's a really big dog.
That's one heavy dog. Furthermore, at Walt Disney World in Florida, it says replication, and that's a hard word for me to say. That's why I kind of paused there for a second. A replication of Nipper with the gramophone appeared inside of a spaceship on Space Mountain, the roller
Whoa.
coaster, and was there until RCA kind of pulled out their sponsorship. So they have since moved it into a robot dog and moved it elsewhere.
I want to go see him.
Let's go.
And I want to go to Baltimore.
That's going to be a great trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Road trip.
I like it.
Okay. Nipper Road Trip 2026.
I love it.
Maybe we could get a whole Fort Orange Nipper road trip, and all of the crazy Nipper fans can take this tour with us.
Oh my God, I love it. And we can get like a Nipper tour bus. That's awesome. We'll get Nipper on the side of it, Fort Orange on the other side. Boom. We got plans.
Yeah.
We got plans. Did you know, though, that in 1984, a life-sized ornament of Nipper appears in the music video of Cyndi Lauper's song Time After Time?
Lauper?
Cyndi
Cyndi Lauper?
Yes.
What? You're
Yes.
nuts. No. And that blows my mind. How is he that famous? And like, not everybody knows who Nipper is. People, Cyndi Lauper? Come on. And you don't know what RCA is?
I feel like I'm getting yelled at. So one of the characters references Cyndi Lauper and says Cyndi Lauper.
Oh.
So that's where I got that from, because I only
That's
speak in
really
movie quotes,
obscure.
apparently. My boss, Jeff, loves movies and sees tons of movies all the time. The opposite of that is the truth. So anytime we're in the office talking, movie quotes, which, as you know, Kevin and I do, that's our life. he'll go, "Oh, wow, that's a movie. Yeah, I watch movies too," and tries to make fun of us because he can't comment on what we're talking about because he doesn't watch movies because he was deprived as a child. But that's just an aside. So in May of 2017, the city of Albany held Possum, where local artists were able to submit their work that would then be portrayed or
Mm-hmm.
accomplished or completed upon a nipper.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 10 of those. And we know that last year
We had
it all
another one.
happened again for
Yep.
the second time.
No, it was the third time.
For the third time.
2017, 2019, and then 2025.
Well, Wikipedia needs to update itself.
I know.
It skipped the 2019 one.
Yeah, there's probably a lot that our listeners could fill in because, like we said, we used Wikipedia and clearly they don't have an update on Nipper since 2017.
So anyway, downtown is Possum. We have our own nipper in the store.
Yep.
Very talented artist worked on that.
Lexi Hanna. Yep, she's amazing. Gorgeous, gorgeous work she does. And she has murals around Albany as well. I know she recently did one in Quackenbush Garage with the little ducks. So cute. And sadly, she moved away from Albany, but good for her because she's living it up in Brooklyn, doing her thing. Artist, full time, traveling everywhere, glamorous life. So incredible that we have her nipper in our store.
So I don't go on a tangent about how ducks are terrifying and I have duck trauma. I will tell a story that one night I was at the store and a gentleman came in from out of town and he said, "Is this your dog?" And I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "This dog that's on everything, is this your dog?" And I laughed to myself. I said, no, that's Nipper. And I told the story, similar to what you said. So I got home that night and I tell you what happened. And I laughed. I said, like we would put our own dog that nobody knows on the majority of the merchandise in our store and people would just buy it. That would be very presumptuous of us. And I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. Well,
Joe, you were wrong.
Again, put it on the list. And since then, something amazing has happened down at Fort Orange General Store, hasn't it, Erica?
It has, Joe. We do have our own little nipper, which is Rue, our family dog, who is a beloved part of Fort Orange General Store. She is our official greeter. Everybody jokes. Every person who works when Rue is there says she's our best employee, which is silly, but it's funny. And people absolutely love seeing Rue. We always ask, are you okay with dogs? Rue runs up and greets everybody. And, people have really come to expecting Rue there. For example, when we met Madison from Ringling Brothers, she came back just to visit Rue a second time. So sweet. We get lots of people from out of town who fall in love with Rue, take pictures. She's been posted on other people's Instagrams and Facebook stories, all of it. People have come to ask, like, do you have any Rue merchandise? And it got to a point where people asked so many times that I went to Joe. I was like, I really think we need to rethink this Rue idea on some merch. And now she has her own little sticker. It's so cute.
It's crazy. And for those of you who don't know Rue, she's an older dog, so she's nice and chill. If you catch her in the first hour that she's working her shift, you may get a little bark out of her, or roar, roar, roar. But then she walks up to you and just wants that attention. And if it's after that first hour, she's not even going to get up.
She's snoring.
No, she's snoring. She's done. She's out.
But you know who she does get up for during her naps?
Who's that?
The UPS man and the mailman.
Isn't that a reverse stereotype right there?
Well, it happens, and Rue has proven that dogs can love UPS and mailmen too. And they're so cute. They every day stop in, even when we don't have mail or packages. The UPS man, Jose, he's amazing, comes in and feeds Rue a little bone, brings her a little treat every day, puts it on her bed. And our mailman loves petting Rue because it's his little like therapy for his root. And people have just come to expect Rue at the store.
And it's funny because I always joke the way that she, approaches people, it's with these puppy dog eyes,
Mm-hmm.
like she's so deprived of attention.
I know.
And then she lays right in front of the counter. So when people cash out, they have to interact with them.
Yes, yes. And then she knows that she's not supposed to be in front of the register. I push her out of the way. People get so offended that I'm pushing her out of the way very gently. But I'm like, no, she knows. She has her bed right here. Like, she's not a stupid dog. She's very smart, but extremely stubborn. And that's where her breed comes in. She's part Chow Chow and very stubborn dogs.
Don't you love that scene at the beginning of 101 Dalmatians where the owners and the dogs are like the same? They look the same, they walk the same, they have the same personality.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Interesting.
I get that. And it's true. A lot of times, dog owners will look like their dogs. But I've always tried to make this connection for years. Now I've finally understood it after the last few years.
Stubbornness.
Yes.
It's the stubbornness.
I am stubborn. Rue is stubborn. This is why she's my dog.
Makes sense.
And I have to tell the story of Rue. Rue waited for me. I was in search of a rescue dog, which Rue is, and I really wanted her. And so, I put my application in. A month later, or a month goes by, and they call me and they're like, "You still looking for a dog?" I'm like, why? Well, if you'd like to adopt, her name was Gracie. I think that we could reevaluate the situation. She waited for me. No one else put an application on Rue. She was waiting and meant to be a part of our family.
That's so cute.
Mm-hmm. She's my girl.
That's awesome. And just this past week, there was a family that came in and they're moving up from either New York City or right outside of the city.
Yeah.
And they were checking out apartments and things like that. So they popped in and, they're walking around just looking at things and they ended up buying 3 Rue stickers.
Yes, it's so cute. I love it when somebody buys a Rue sticker. It's the best. And people, it's so funny. It is always an out of town, like tourist, someone visiting Albany that buys Rue.
She's the best. She's a great little personality with her little, gray beard.
It's not a replica of Rue, it's an artistic version. So I actually did it in the Albany colors. I did orange, light blue, and blue for our city. And it's a really sweet picture of Rue looking with her sad eyes.
It's very cute.
Mm-hmm.
And you might even find her down at the store on a First Friday with us, like
Yes.
this last week when we had her and the kids down there all in tow. And it's, we put her to work just as much as we put everybody else to work.
It's a family business. Everybody's got to pitch in.
That's what we do.
Soon the cats will be hanging down with us.
No. No, nobody wants any part of them. Well, that's the story of Nipper, we think, and Rue, which we know.
Yes, so we are in love with Nipper and Rue, and both of them are now our Fort Orange icons, right? Come down, say hi, meet Rue, take a picture, grab a sticker, and you will have the best day ever because she is a love. She'll like lay on her back, let you give all the belly rubs you want to give her. She will follow you around the store and keep asking for more.
And they both have great stories that we just heard, and Rue's is very touching as well. So if you want to share your story of your best friend and put that in one of our comments. We would love to hear it because there's nothing better than hearing those connection stories
Mm-hmm.
and, how a family pet can really change a dynamic and change all of the lives of all of those involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to hear. So we would love to hear that too.
Yeah, animals bring a different kind of love to a family and can be extremely therapeutic and best friends. So we want to hear about your four-legged family member and all the beautiful stories you can share.
And we do not discriminate. It does not have to be four-legged.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I didn't think about that.
But no ducks or ostriches because there's not enough time to process that right now.
Someday we'll get Joe to talk about his duck trauma on the show.
And ostrich trauma.
Yeah. Maybe somebody should provoke it and ask, "Hey, Joe, what's your duck trauma?"
Well, until that happens, I'm not talking about it. And on that note,
You're out.
we want to thank everyone, as always, for listening and sharing and being part of our ridiculous stories and our crazy times on
Small business, big life. Inside Fort Orange General Store.